Hey guys, so today we are standing here inside of our German home and we have some really cool things that we want to show you.
So as we've been traveling around Germany and house hunting and visiting other people's homes and getting settled in our home, we've noticed lots of little things that are different in German homes than in American homes, and just little things that we've noticed and have thought are really interesting.
So these are a few things that we've had to get used to here, or that we really like and that we think that we should bring these back to the States if we could. So let's start taking you on a little tour of our place and showing you some of these unique items.
My very favorite thing about German homes are the windows. Just everything about the windows I think are really clever, and I want these kind of windows in all of our homes going forward. So the first part of the windows that I think are really great are the Rouladen shades. Let me show you. So these shades are on the outside of the windows, and they're usually made of a thick metal. We've seen some other materials, but mostly it's this thick metal. And so inside of each home by the windows, there's usually a rope. Sometimes we've seen remote control operated or button operated, but usually it's this rope. And so the rope is on the inside of the window, but it attaches to above the window. There's the pulley system and the mechanics, and then it connects to the outside shutter. And so you get your rope, and there's a little break at the bottom, but you can lower your shade just from inside, and you can lower it partly. It leaves a little space where some light can come through, or you can lower it all the way completely down. And we like it like this when we're sleeping, because then it acts as a really great blackout curtain, blackout shade, and so it's so dark in our room when we sleep. But this also I think is great as a protection against weather. So I'm sure that is a main purpose of this also. So I really like that. So then you just open it back up by pulling your rope. The next thing that I think is really cool is how the windows open. So you can open them two different ways. One way opens all the way, and the other one just cracks it a little bit. Let me show you. I think these are cool. So the first one, all the way. Ta-da! But the next way that you can open them, that honestly scared me so much at the beginning. I always thought I broke the window and it was falling on me. Let me show you. It would go like this, and I'd be like, ah! But it opens like that. You just open it a little bit, and there's a crack at the top. So that's how we have it set most of the time, just to let a little cool air in. And then you just easily close it back. Ta-da!
One of the reasons why it's really important for the windows to be able to open and crack like that is so that we can get air circulation through here. The weather is usually fairly mild, including in the summer times, and so most of Europe, including a vast majority of the homes and ours, doesn't have any kind of air conditioning. So if we want to cool off our apartment, we have to open up the windows to get that air circulation and get that cool breeze in to try to cool it off a little bit. But we are on the same latitude as like southern Canada. And so because of that, we've heard that you do have some pretty brutal winters. We haven't experienced any of those yet ourselves, but we're gearing up to try to take one on, living here for the first time. And so because of those winters, most of our rooms do have radiators along the floors against the walls, and that's how we get some kind of heat in here to try to heat it up. We have seen some like other homes that are more modern that have like floor heating and other new technologies. Ours are just old traditional radiators. And on one side of those, you do have a knob, and you turn that to select a number. It's not like setting any kind of specific temperature, especially at least for ours. There may be some other future ones that do. So we just set it to kind of a number that we think is going to warm it up, and then we feel it out. That's going to be kind of like some of the trial and error this winter whenever we're going through our first winter. The other trial and error, of course, is that they use Celsius here. We're used to Fahrenheit, and so we're going to have to get used to what those other numbers are to try to figure out what temperatures we want to keep our rooms at, if we can kind of regulate that a little bit. Anyways, something is unique for us because we're used to traditional air conditioning and heating through air. European and German bathrooms are also fairly different from American bathrooms. Starting with the toilet, you normally won't find a toilet with a big tank on the back. Instead, I assume it's built into the wall because you can't see it and you'll just have the bowl portion that's setting out in the room. Above the toilet, you'll usually have these two buttons, a larger button, which will give you a larger flush, to give you more power to get rid of, I guess, larger masses. Inside the toilet bowl, then you'll have a smaller button right next to that for a smaller, more eco-friendly flush for jobs that don't require as much water. Also, right next to the sink, sometimes you will find these kind of crazy towel racks. It's not like ours, which is like a little ring or a little hook. You'll have these three big arms. We also have these inside the kitchen, and I guess you can put a face towel, a hand towel, and maybe a guest face towel so that you don't have all of those just stacking up and not drying out.
Another reason that the windows need to open is that there's not a vent in the bathroom. So if you don't open the window, the steam from the shower is just gonna build up in your home because there's also not the vents for the air conditioning. So you have to open the windows every time you shower just to let that steam out.
Germans are also very eco-minded, and so because of that, next to the shower, you will usually find some kind of squeegee. And the squeegee is gonna be used every time you get done showering to squeegee down the water so that you don't have to use as much soaps to clean and get so many chemicals down into the drain. And then also next to the toilet, you will always find a toilet brush. And that's something that we do find a lot of times next to American toilets, but they're used for completely different things. We use it whenever we are trying to wash our toilets with the chemicals. They use it so that every time you make some kind of mess, you can just quickly just scrub the toilet down and you don't leave it disgusting for the next person who's coming into the bathroom, which is particularly important because German toilets a lot of times have what is, the colloquial term is a poop shelf. And that is, I guess, to reduce the amount of water inside the bowl, but it's not gonna have a deep bowl like ours. It's gonna have a little shelf that will go down into a little tube in the back.
Speaking of showers, a lot of Europeans do not take showers, they just take baths. And so we've been in many situations when we stayed in Airbnbs and different hotels and things where all we have is a bathtub and one of these little things that's just hooked really low. So that has been a challenge for us because we're not bath people, we're both shower people, but sometimes they'll have like a little pane of glass and one of these hooked up a little higher, but we're flinging water all over the place. Or sometimes they don't have anything that's blocking the water. So we've made lots of messes of water all over the floor in many Airbnbs.
Another one of the obvious differences here in Germany is going to be the outlets and the plugs. So here you're going to have round outlets with plugs that have two round prongs. The weird thing that we've noticed about the outlets here are that they are sometimes in unusual places, at least for us. They're in the middle of the wall or right next to switches, and we're still trying to figure out what we can use those for.
Difference is that most German homes do not have any kind of built-in closet or built-in cabinets. You have to buy these big wardrobes to put in your home to keep all your things and all your clothes.
Along with the different outlets, you also have different TV, radio, and satellite hookups here. So you'll have a box like this in the back of a room or next to the TV, and you'll have three different plugs. One is going to be data for some kind of Wi-Fi, one's going to be radio, and one's going to be television. And the plugs are a little bit different. The television hasn't used a coax cable that I've used. I use a different type of plug here, but that you have this different type of box where all of your connections are for your living room.
Germans are extremely eco-friendly. One way that we have really experienced this is in how we have to separate our trash. There are laws in place of how to separate it in order to recycle everything more efficiently. So we currently have 5 different trash cans just in our kitchen alone that has different things in each of them. Let me show you. In here, we have all of our plastics. In here, we have all of our paper goods. And here we have all glass items. We have all biodegradable things. And then in here is all other miscellaneous trash. So this recycling and trash separating has honestly been so fascinating to us, and we've really enjoyed learning all about it. Donnie even went to the town hall and got a big book that describes everything and how you're supposed to separate all this trash. So we really want to do a video that is specifically just about the trash because it's just been really fun and interesting.
We've also noticed that in a lot of German homes, it's very common for them to not have dryers whenever they do their laundry. So they still rely on clotheslines out in the backyard to get their clothes dried. And we've even stayed in a lot of Airbnbs here where we've had to hang our stuff up next to an open window or on the radiators or find some creative way of getting our clothes dried. A lot of the washers and dryers are also down inside of a creepy dark basement if they do even have them for the apartment.
The last thing that we've thought has been very interesting about Germany is that a lot of the front doors do not have a way of locking them from the inside other than just using your key. There's not like a deadbolt or another way of locking the door from the inside. It's also very important to not forget your key when you're leaving because these knobs don't turn a lot of times. So if you don't have your key, you're locked out. So it's been really interesting getting to see all of the differences between the US and Germany and getting to learn all the little things that we wouldn't know if we weren't living here. And it's been so interesting because we're both Western countries, but we have so many differences. And so it's been a lot of fun to learn those. So we're excited to continue to explore and learn more of these little differences and hopefully do some more videos about those.
So today we just wanted to focus primarily just on the differences in the homes here, of course, but in the future videos we have all kinds of stuff that's going on around the communities that we really want to show you guys too. But we also have some really cool travel stuff coming in very soon. We have some family coming in town to visit, and then we also are going to meet them in Paris, and then we're going to do some other day trips all around our area. So we have been kind of missing for a little while our videos, but coming forward in the future are going to be a lot more stuff. So we really want you guys to go ahead and hit that like button and also subscribe and hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you can be alerted whenever our videos come out. It's free, and then you can keep up with all of our travels, and we would love to have you travel with us. So thanks so much for watching, guys.